I oppose the curriculum for many of the reasons that the others have said.
In every school district, the role of a board member is crucial. They shape the future of education, ensure the well-being of students and staff, set the vision, establish goals, and outline policies. However, they do not manage the school's day-to-day operations or write the curriculum. Unfortunately, not all candidates grasp the full scope of this responsibility.
One of the biggest problems that I see is the school itself. Education is fostering an environment where students are afraid to speak their minds in class for fear of consequences.
Audrey voices concerns about freedom of expression in classrooms, but it's the role of educators, not board members, to foster open dialogue. By intervening, Audrey oversteps her bounds and misunderstands her role. Schools are meant to encourage dialogue, not stifle it. Is Audrey suggesting educators silence students?
I want to know how many parents out here have had their children come to them and say, "Mom, I can't say that."
While parental involvement is crucial, a board member's role is to trust educators to handle classroom discussions responsibly, not to sow distrust. Generalizations without concrete data are concerning. Board members should make decisions based on thorough research, not anecdotal evidence.
Recommended websites for the presidential election process include NPR, CNN, NBC. Do you think he really said what he wanted to say or what he thought for that assignment? Of course he couldn't, because he was afraid he would be retaliated against by his teacher. And it's a disgrace.
Audrey's assumptions about teacher bias are speculative and undermine the professionalism of educators, revealing a lack of trust, a key component of effective school governance. A board member's job is to support educators, not undermine their trust with families. Accusing without clear evidence is problematic.
I was reviewing the English curriculum, particularly English CPE 3, and essentially as a non-educator, the entire curriculum to me is a social justice class disguised as English. I see literally nothing but doom and gloom among every single book. They're dark, depressing, and each one is tortuously dissected over weeks of class time, allowing for contemporary issues to be discussed from the teacher's perspective, probably. The Great Gatsby and Death of a Salesman are under the quest for the American dream, with the essential curriculum question being, at the end of the unit, ultimately questioning if the American dream still exists today. I mean, do we want 16-year-olds to think otherwise?
Audrey's misinterpretation of the curriculum highlights a lack of understanding in educational strategies and a tendency to perceive negativity where there is none. Questioning literature's value based on personal biases, a school board member should understand the importance of diverse perspectives.
Unit 2 involves reflection on how prejudice, discrimination, and inequality is a somber reality of past and present American experience. Is it a somber reality? I'd like these classes recorded so I could hear what the teacher is saying to my child.
Requesting recordings of classes shows a profound mistrust in our educators, a stance incompatible with the collaborative spirit required of a board member.
Is the English class a curriculum comprised of leftist indoctrination? I know why The Caged Bird Sings is one of the most challenged and banned books in the country for its language and portrayals of violence, including the rape of an 8-year-old. I wonder how many days will be spent discussing symbolism between the free bird and the caged bird. An Alabama textbook committee has determined that this book incites bitterness and hatred towards white people. You probably don't want me to continue, and the children probably don't want to go back to English class either. How should they feel after reading all these books? It never lets up. They never have a break from this constant topic and themes. One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest is packaged under rebelling against authority for a higher moral cause. Is that why Billy strangled Nurse Ratched? I'm not sure about that. It's an utterly depressing read for the students. Why can't the students decide what the theme of the books are? After getting through the unit, the students discuss the essential question of what is the role of protest in society? It's a manipulation of English class.
Educational materials should be assessed based on educational merit, not individual opinions. Misrepresenting book content is misleading. It's alarming when personal opinions about literature overshadow its educational value. Moreover, making general claims about an environment without clear evidence is concerning.
Honors English is reading A Raisin in the Sun, and they get 2 articles presented to them from the New York Times, both illustrating housing discrimination. And the assignment is to discuss what forms of housing discrimination persist today and how has it changed. Well, how would the students know what to write? They were only presented with one side of this situation, so we all know what they wrote and what was expected to be written by them. So we're expected to blindly accept all these things: racism, housing discrimination, increasing number of HIBs.
Critiquing a balanced portrayal of historical and societal issues in literature shows a narrow view of education, not aligned with preparing students for a diverse and complex world.
I haven't really scratched the surface. I don't think this is English class. It's very disturbing. We just emerged from a pandemic where kids are struggling with mental health, and then they go to English class to read this. This is not the New Jersey LA standards. You guys are responsible for this content. This content, as presented in the draft curriculum, should not be approved tonight by the board. Education is fostering an environment where students are afraid to speak their minds in class for fear of consequences from teachers.
Our community deserves board members who are dedicated to the success of every student, who value the role of educators, and who work collaboratively with all stakeholders. Vivian and Amy are the right choice for our schools. They stand united for students, understanding the importance of empowering educators and working hand in hand with parents. Together we can create an environment where every student thrives. Vote for unity, vote for progress. Vote for Vivian King and Amy Eilert. United for Students in column 3.